That was a terrible load in, falling through the floor. Yep. Oh, I'm not going to do that again. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of No Man's Sky. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault here today. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and don't forget to leave a comment on the video down below and a like. It really helps me out. And share us on social media. It is greatly appreciated. So today we're going to talk about, we've done a lot of cooking videos, right? And they can be a pain because you got to go out and gather all those plants, and you need a hazmat glove or a hazard glove, whatever it's called, to do it. Or you can, of course, build a garden and plant plants. There's a variety of things you can do. You can build a garden on your freighter. You can build a base with a garden. You can plant stuff on specific biomes to grow and all that. But there is another cooler, much cooler way to make things, and that's what we're going to show you today. So all you need is some basic resources and oxygen, and for every piece of oxygen, or for every basic resource you need, you're going to need a piece of oxygen. So let's take a look at what we're going to need here, and then we'll get cooking. Okay, so first off, dioxide's one, then there's ammonia, uranium, paraffinium, phosphorus, and pyrite. What these are going to do is we're going to blend them with oxygen, and we're going to create plants that go on specific worlds like frost crystal and gamma root, solarium, the cactus flesh, all that fun stuff. So we're going to go ahead, get these loaded up, and I'll show you what it's all about. And this makes even farming a farming for stasis modules, like we saw a video on that, or stasis devices a few days ago. This makes it even easier because you no longer really need the garden at this point. And if you want to cook and get some of the basic stuff for different recipes, well, you don't need a garden. You can just totally eliminate that garden. All you need is the ability to mine and refine these items, and you're pure gold, right? So that's kind of a plus. That's going to make me rethink my little garden base there. I might get rid of it completely, my old McDonald's farm, although I do like it because that is a great source of eggs as well as milk, so it might be worth keeping just for that alone. Alright, so starting from the beginning here, as you see, dioxide. And this is a 2-to-1 on the dioxide, so you lose something in the making of it, but not a big deal. 1-to-1 on the oxygen, but you get frost crystal for that, and we know that we can break that down into glass crystals and then refine flour, or you can use that to make windows, glass for your windows on your base and stuff like that. We got fungal mold here. That's 2 ammonia and 1 oxygen. Gamma root we get from the uranium. Star bulb from the paraffinium. Of course, here's the selenium. That's from the phosphorus. And cactus flesh from the pyrite. So yeah, you got all these great food items you can make, and you don't need a farm, and you don't need to go out picking that stuff. So if you're able to set up a base and a refiner or a mine or whatever to gather these 6 items, then you are pure gold. Now the other ones that we can do, let's see, I have them on the freighter, I believe. Mordite and Facium, that's a little different. We can, I believe, those will have to gather differently. You might want to plant some of those, even if it's just on your freighter or whatever. Not sure if we can plant those on any planet. I think they have to be on specific planets. But you can set up the biodomes or the little planters and just plant those. That's 2 plants you really need to grow. Now again, we can also grow nip buds and venom sacs and gravitino balls and all that, but those aren't really that big of a deal. They are good for making a little bit of money, but that tends to be something that you use early on in the game for making money. Later on in the game, it's just not worth it. So we're going to get these things cooked up, and then we'll see some of the different recipes we can make with these items once they're finished, okay? So we'll be right back. See you in a second. Alright, we're back. Those things are still cooking off, so I figure we'll talk about Facem and Mordite real quick while these things are finishing up. Now, you can't use a basic resource to make them, but if you have any Facem or Mordite, you can use them to make the other or to increase the amount you have. So for instance, Mordite, it takes 3 to make 1 Facem, which is a bad trade-off, right? But with Facem, if you add oxygen to it, it's a 1-to-3 ratio. So if you have some Mordite but not much Facem, you can make a couple pieces and throw it in with oxygen and start increasing it, much like you do with back we talked about chlorine, turning salt into chlorine or chlorine into more chlorine and that type of thing. You can just, with a lot of oxygen, you can make a ton of Facem, and then you could take that Facem and turn it into Mordite if you wanted to, just by removing this, and you get a 3-to-2 ratio. So you will lose a little bit if, like if you're short on Mordite, you can make Mordite using Facem with a slight loss, but you can always add oxygen to the remaining Facem and make more to make up for that difference. So there's just a couple tidbits of information right there. Whoops, wrong one. So let's take a look at some of the stuff that we can make using these 6 items plus the Facem and the Mordite. So we'll go ahead and clear out these hoppers real quick. And just let the rest of that stuff finish off. But for now, this will be a fun little experiment. I know we can make some items that are pretty good for making money. Oh, how awesome is that? We didn't have any frost crystal going. Dummy. Alright, well, I don't need much because we're not going to make stuff. We're just going to look at what we can make. Alright, so let's go to our exosuit here, and we will do craft product. Now let's take a look at some of these neat items that we can make. We'll have to work our way down a bit. So polyfiber's 1, cactus flesh and star bulb. Now it takes a lot to make these. They're worth 130,000 units, but that's a decent amount of money right there. Unstable gel with just cactus flesh, lubricant with Facem and gamma root, acid with fungal mold and Mordite. Anything else we can whip up using this stuff? That's about it on that, but those kind of items, some of those items, will lead to bigger and better things. Like if we had a little bit more frost crystal, we'd be able to make heat capacitors, right? Pretty cool. And with heat capacitors and polyfiber, we'd be able to make circuit boards. Look at that, we're up to 1 million now. And then, stasis devices, well, we'd have to work our way up to that, but, some of these items would definitely help into making some of those, like a fusion accelerator. No, I think the cryo pump uses something, right? No, hot ice and thermic condensate. Which one uses it? Heat capacitors. Main glass cryo pump. I'm trying to backwards cryogenic chamber quantum processor. Let's take a look at that one. Maybe that was the one. Circuit boards, right? And superconductors. Superconductors, yeah, nothing there. Semiconductor. Nope. But yeah, like I said, the circuit boards, there's something along the way into making these things, the heat capacitors and the circuit board. So, but if you combine them with the regular resources and all that you've used to make all of these all of this plant life, then yeah, you can start making stasis devices fairly quickly and without a lot of trouble. So I think we'll try and set up a stasis farm for this character as well, but we're going to do it different than the other one. We're not going to actually have the real farm. We're just going to we're going to find a system, and I'd like to find a system that has all of the items needed to make the stasis device in it. You know, all of the resources, and that's not hard to do. You just got to find a basically a big system with a lot of planets in it, you know, or planets and moons, whatever, a nice combination of it, and you'll be in good shape, right? Because the basics needed are the three gases, sulfurine, radon, and nitrogen. You need gamma root and frost crystal, carbon, condensed carbon, selenium, star bulb, ionized cobalt, cactus flesh, faecium, paraffinium, dioxide, and phosphorus. So you need quite a few different items, but all of that can be readily found in one system, and sometimes several of those items on a single planet. Like you could find phosphorus and selenium on the same planet. You can find star bulb and paraffinium on the same planet, dioxide and frost crystal, and then you combine the gases in there. I don't remember which gas goes to which planet. You throw in one planet with an oxygen farm on it, and you've got your carbon, which you can turn into condensed carbon, and you can also use to change up these other items into, you know, the stuff you're mining into the plants that you physically need, like the star bulb and whatnot. So yeah, there's quite a bit that goes into it, but it can be done in one system, and that's going to be the goal. I'm going to start looking around for a system that will accommodate me, where I can just have, boom, one nice system with everything in it to make stasis devices. So thanks for joining me. I know this was kind of a short video and a little funky, but I wanted to show you how you could refine some of these different resources. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like on it down below and a comment. Let me know if you ever tried this kind of stuff, making plants out of basic minerals and oxygen. Kind of a neat idea. Oxygen, like I've always said, is one of the best materials to find in this game, the best resource to have. You cannot have enough oxygen. You could set up a plant and have 30,000 oxygen, 100,000 oxygen just waiting for you to pick up, and it's still, you could still use more at certain times, especially when you're doing stuff like this, mass production or whatever. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell for notifications, and don't forget to leave a comment down below, like I said, and a like, and share us on social media. It's always appreciated. I'll see you next time. Peace.